Govora via the group of 4 students of social work from Osijek, Antonio Horvat, Grgić Dora, Hana Serdar and Gordana Ilakovac. Our topic is prevention of behavior problems in youth and young people. The purpose of this research is to find out what resources are available in the area of the city of Vukovar and which would support the program for the prevention of externalized behavior problems in children of youth school age. In order to investigate all the resources available to children and young people in Vukovar and the challenges and problems faced by children and their parents, teachers and other experts, we interviewed a psychologist from Nikola Andrić Elementary School, a local government representative and head of the health department and social welfare of Vukovar CM County, director of the Center of Social Welfare Vukovar and long-term social worker from the Department for Children, Youth and Family, experts from the half-day stay of Breza Association Vukovar branch, head of the Proni Center in Vukovar and 6 parents and 6 students from Vukovar. Interview with parents includes 3 parents from the general population and 3 parents from the risk population, and the interview with students includes 3 students from general population and 3 students from the risk population. The Vukovar branch was established with the aim of supporting children, young people and their families in the area of the city of Vukovar, all for the purpose of preventing antisocial behavior and preventing institutionalization. In order to preserve the family and prevent the separation of children at risk from the family to the institutional environment, a half-day stay service was organized for children at risk of primary school age. The service is aimed at helping and supporting children in developing work, cultural and hygienic habits, healthy eating, organization free time, helping with learning, and finally quality basic development. The Vukovar branch is successfully realizing its goals aimed at preventing behavioral problems in children at risk and supporting their families.
Theoretical framework. For our research, we use 2 theoretical frameworks: environmental systems theory and family systems theory. These theories were our framework in selecting key people who participated in the research, creating questionnaires, and along with the results of the research in creating proposals for programs for the prevention of behavioral disorder in primary school children. Data collections and methods. For the purpose of our research, we used the so-called mixed method of data collections, which included the following: interviews, a review of scientific articles related to the topic of behavioral disorders in children, demographic research, tour of the city of Vukovar. We conducted 18 interviews with the brand manager and educator of the Breza Association in the Vukovar branch, the brand manager of the Proni Center in Vukovar, a psychologist in the Nikola Andrić Elementary School in Vukovar, the director and social worker in the Center of Social Welfare in Vukovar. We also conducted interviews with 6th, 7th and 8th grade children, 1 parent and 1 child from each school age who are in the treatment of the Social Welfare Center, and 1 parent and child who are not. Interview questions. We grouped the questions for the interviews into 3 groups, namely questions for parents, questions for children, and questions for the experts and decision makers. After conducting interviews with the respondents, we made a transcript of each interview. For the purpose of objectivity of interpretation, we conducted the coding of interviews by opening all 18 interviews by groups: children, parent, experts, And for each question, we singled out the keywords listed in the answer to that particular questions. After analyzing all the questions in the group, we counted how many answers are repeated for each question, and we presented this in a table.
Community characteristics. The city of Vukovar is located in the northeast part of the Republic of Croatia, and it is the seat of Vukovar Srem county. In the graph shown, we can see a very high number of children up to 14 years of age who have a behavioral disorder, and according to whom certain measures have been taken. During 2015, there was an increase in number of children who show certain behavioral problems. The biggest problem is the non-cooperating of parents with the school, the inability of establish authority over the child, and the denial of the problem. In the graph shown, we can see a high at risk of poverty rate for children aged from 0 to 17. The reason for this are many, and some of them can be parents with or without primary education, inability to find a job, living in a single parent family, and many others. Living in poverty can be one of the influences on the potential development of behavioral disorders. And on the right, we can see religious affiliation. Catholics and Orthodox are the most represented religious affiliations in Vukovar Srem County, and this area of the city of Vukovar and surrounding villages and town is more sensitive to religious affiliation due to the war in 1990s. Disagreement between Catholics and Orthodox still exists, so this is one of the factors that can influence the development of behavioral disorders in school-age children who are susceptible to peer violence. Segregation of children in kindergartens and schools is very common. Organizations and programs in the Vukovar Srem County. The prevention program called I Have an Attitude is implemented in primary schools in Vukovar Srem County. The prevention program I Have an Attitude is based on learning life skills and the concept of social impact, and promotes positive and healthy behavior, affects the prevention of tobacco, alcohol, and other addictions in children and youth. And then we have the program called Youth Program of the City of Vukovar. It was created on the initiative of members of the City Youth Council of the City of Vukovar and surrounding places. The program is aimed at young people and aims to improve living conditions through education, employment, active participation of young people in society, social and health policies. And lastly, we have Duna, a youth peace group dedicated to promoting a democratic and civil society based on culture of non-violence, respect for human rights, and tolerance. Association has been established Ne-nasilje program, whose general goal is to increase the sense of importance among young people for peer help and cooperation, with the aim of preventing peer and general violence among children and young people. Infrastructure. In the geographical area we explored, we found the following properties, which you can see on the right, same as the map of the area that we explored. And on the down part of the slide, you can see the most famous symbols of the city. So Water Tower, Memorial Center. Vukovar has the only port on the Danube River. And of course, Memorial Hospital, that was devastated in the war in 1990s.
Analysis and results. Resources. By analyzing the collect data, we found that there are a total of 5 civil society organizations in Vukovar that implement programs for children and youth aimed at preventing nonviolent communication, preventing peer violence, preventing addiction, respecting diversity, and promoting social dialogue between children and youth of different nationalities. In addition to associations in Vukovar, there is also the Youth Council of the City of Vukovar, whose goal is to promote the rights, needs, and interests of young people in cooperation with all relevant stakeholders. Challenges and stressors. The challenges faced by children and parents most often concern existence, parental unemployment generated by poverty, especially when it comes to large families or single parents. Obstacles and difficulties. The problem is that each project has its own duration, and after its expiration, there is no support from the local community or system to continue to be implemented continuously and in the long term. Advantages. The research established that the social service of the half-day stay of the Breza branch gives excellent results in the progress of the children involved, which was confirmed by experts from direct work with users and their families, parents, children, and schools whose students attend the stay. They know the users through the measures aimed at their families. Best practices. We rank the following program among the best practices: educational program to live without violence, UNICEF program Stop Violence among Children, Together We Can Do More, early drinking prevention program for children and young people, Clear Mind Without Alcohol. Our recommendations are: conclusion. The aim of this research was to understand the needs, resources, and challenges concerning children and youth at risk and children and youth with behavioral problems. We concluded that prevention in working with children and youth is the most important factor, as well as the involvement of whole families in the process to prevent the development of behavioral problems, and in the most severe cases the separation of children from their families and their institutionalization.